In this video, we'll discuss how to solve equations. Now, the goal of solving an equation is to determine the solutions of the equation. The solutions are the values for the unknowns or variables which will make the equation true. Let's consider 3 plus blank equals 9. The question we're asking is, what value can we add to 3 to equal 9? The solution in this case would be 6. So we recognize that 3 plus 6 equals 9. And that is the only solution. Any other value will not create a true equation, so there are no other solutions. For example, if 4 was substituted into this, that would not create an equivalent statement because 3 plus 4 equals 7, not 9. Now, a common misconception by many students is treating the equal sign as an operation instead of a relationship between two expressions. For example, if they saw 3 plus 8 equals blank plus 5, an operational view would say, let's do the 3 plus 8 and say that equals 11. Then they would solve 11 plus 5 to say that the overall relationship is 16. That operational view needs to be recreated early on with students so that the equal sign is a relationship, not an operation. The relationship view, or that relational view, would recognize that 3 plus 8 has to equal the blank plus 5. So 6 would have to go in so that both of those expressions would simplify to 11. Now, we do have tools and manipulatives to help us. For example, pan balances. With a pan balance, we want to make the left and right sides equal to one another so that it balances. The goal then is to determine what's the weight that needs to be added to balance the pans. So let's look at another example. Say we have 2 plus 5 equals x plus 3. So if students put the weights on the balance, they would see the left side drops and the right side comes up. So the idea then is what needs to be added to that right side to make the pans balance out. So maybe if they were in an operational view, they'd say, let's make it 7 because 2 plus 5 is 7. But that would help them to see then, oh, wait a minute, that didn't work because now I'm overweight. I've got too much on the right side. So 7 is not the correct solution here. And that can help to break that operational view. Maybe then they're like, well, let's try something smaller. So they try 3. Like, well, it's a little bit closer, but it's not exact, and we need a little bit more weight on that right-hand side. So let's add one more block and make it 4. And then they can see 2 plus 5 equals 3 plus 4. And there can be a recognition that, oh, both sides have 7 total blocks, and that can help to slowly build that relational view. Now, when we start to solve equations, the goal is to simplify the equation so that every time we're creating an equivalent equation until we find the solution for the unknown. We're going to start by simplifying expressions on each side of the equation if possible. Then we're going to move to addition and subtraction from both sides. Whatever we do to one side of our equation, we must do to the other to maintain balance. Then we would multiply and divide both sides to maintain that balance. Let's look at an example. 4x plus 9 minus x equals 22 minus x minus 7. Let's start with the expressions. So we start on the left expression. 4x plus 9 minus x. Here we can do 4x minus 1x to give us 3x plus 9. Then on the right-hand side, we have 22 minus x minus 7. Here we can do 22 minus 7, and that would give us negative x plus 15. Now I can work on solving this equation. The first thing I would do is add x to both sides. Doing so will simplify the right-hand side to 0 x's, whereas the left-hand side will now have 4x plus 9 equals 15. I still have some addition in this problem, so I would subtract 9 from both sides so that I can get x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 9 from the left side and 9 from the right side, and when I do that, The 9 minus 9 becomes 0, so I'm left with 4x equals 6. Now I can move on to the multiplication and division. Here I have 4 times x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 would become 1x. 6 divided by 4 is 6/4, and I could simplify that then to 3/2.